The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives, at The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
All right, here we are. We're down to our last speaker on day 5. We're at the Best You EXPO virtual 2020 Expo. My name is Tony Boldy. I have the honor of co-hosting with Bernardo Moya. We have a great speaker to wrap up the day 5 for us. I'm so excited to bring her in. I'm going to bring her in right away. How are you, Doria? So nice to see you again.
So excited. I've been waiting all week to be here.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we're excited to get you on. I want to give you as much time as possible. We have a slideshow and we have all sorts of cool things that you're going to do. So let me do a quick little introduction. Doria Cordova is CEO, owner of Accelerated Business Schools, Money and You program, the organization that brought the world entrepreneurial, experiential. One of her missions is to transform educational systems around the world and eradicate poverty and hunger. Another, the greening of the world. Who wouldn't want to do that? Thank you so much for doing that for us. So we're really excited. What's your experience been like here at the Expo? Have you been running around all week and checking out the other virtual rooms?
Yes, I have been. I have been in quite a few panels, and I have been watching some of the main stage, and it has been amazing. I mean, just the contacts, and there's still an opportunity. There's a few days left. So you still have an opportunity to connect with people that otherwise you don't have access to. And we will be talking about access, how successful people, that's what they have is access.
Right. We have billionaires on the stage. We have multimillionaires. We have people that are just starting out. We have the full rainbow of people's stories and experience, success, failure, success again. And I can't wait to hear what you're going to share with us. So I'll be in the background and I'll be running your slideshow. So just let me know what you need clicked here and there, and we'll see you back about 10 to the top of the hour.
Okay.
All right. Have a great show.
Thank you. Well, hello, everyone. Just so you know, I will be sharing a slideshow here in a minute, and it's going to cover me, but it's okay. You will still be able to hear my voice. And I also want to make sure, for those of you that are in the chat area, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to be able to list your own information. Never pass up the opportunity for you to network, for you to connect with people, for you to put up your information, how they can find you, what are your products, what are your services. So today we're going to be spending time in giving you the accelerated business success model. And I want to give you a little bit of history. My mentors back in the 70s created the industry, the training industry that you may know as the experiential entrepreneurial transformational industry. So we had people like Tony Robbins, who did the program when he was 23 years old. Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He was my business partner for 9 years. And the first book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which he wrote after our partnership, and he had moved on very lovingly. We went into the different quadrants. I don't know if you're familiar with the cash flow quadrant, but he went into the investment quadrant, and I stayed in the business entrepreneurial quadrant, even though he does do that too, but he's more focused on investments and real estate. He went on to work with Sharon Lechter, which, of course, you probably had an opportunity to see here on this platform. So some of the names, Harv Eker, Laurel Langemeyer, that you also saw on this, these are all graduates of the Money and You program and the Accelerated, and they have taught at the Accelerated Business School for Entrepreneurs, some of them. And some of the biggest names, and they learn some of the principles that I will be teaching you today, are people like Paul Mitchell here, products. Paul Mitchell, who passed away in 1989, and the work was continued by Paul Mitchell Hair Products. He did the program in 1980, and I actually met Paul DeGioia at a Tony Robbins event in the back room, so to speak. And I had an opportunity to ask him whether he'd remember that Paul Mitchell had done the program. And he did. And he said that, and I said, did he learn something? Do you remember? And he remembered. And the two things he had learned was leverage, which we'll be talking about here in a minute. And the other one was actually loyalty. And that's why to this day, you can only find Paul Mitchell hair products in actual salons or in shops that sell hair products, but you can't buy it just about anywhere else. So there are some very interesting names. And the other one that you probably would be familiar with is Ben Cohen of Ben and Jerry's. So they did Money and You back in 1979, 1980. We kind of grew up together. Sometimes people say, well, she's the mentor. She has been teaching them. We actually grew together. We grew up together. And so I've been around for about 41 years in this industry. And I'm happy to say that what I'm going to be teaching you now is what I have applied in my own life, in my own business life. And this should be very helpful to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and put up the first slide. Just remember, it's going to hide my face. Don't worry about it. I'm still here. And so we're going to be going through the Money and You business success model. And I'm going to leave it up long enough for you to be able to take a picture. And so we're building a socially responsible, profitable organization. And this could be for profit and nonprofit. Let's go ahead and go to the other slide. Thank you. So the next slide is be very clear on your purpose. Okay. And uplifting humanity's consciousness through socially responsible business has been mine probably for the last 15 years. I added the word socially responsible. I've been doing this actually for 41 years. And we talked about one of my missions. Go ahead, take off the slide for a little bit. And so what you see there is very, very important because that's going to be the wind beneath your wings. And people are going to be very interested in working with you if you have a higher purpose. And it can be any business. I'm not talking just about a seminar business or just being a speaker, being a coach. I'm talking about having any kind of business, printing, automobile, Santan. We have in our programs Fridays with Doria, and one of my staff is going to be putting on the chat area, is going to be putting some of the information about my work, and you can do the same so that other people can see what you do. But the other day in our Fridays with Doria, a weekly event that we do, we had Bill Allen, who considers himself to be a town window washer. He created a huge fortune out of this business and then went on to leverage to other businesses. So what he did was he did it out of washing windows. And he also used the business success model that I'm introducing now. So let's go ahead and do the slide again, and I'm going to be hidden. The first thing you want to do is you want to learn from masters, and that is what you're doing here. And so you still have a few more days. You have, I believe, 4 more days. 3 more days, you have days, okay? And what you have is an opportunity for you to be able to learn from masters. Now, I just want you to take a picture, learn from their mistakes. You could inherit their legacy. 3 areas that you must master or surround yourself with a master. And I want to talk about this a little bit. Now, by now, you would have taken a picture. And then also, just so you know, in a little bit, not right now, we're going to be giving you a link for you to be able to for me to be able to send you the slideshow so that you will have it, okay? And so just remember this, write this down, sales and marketing, people and organization, money and finances. Okay, let's take off the slide so I can speak about those 3 things. So these areas, sales and marketing, people and organization, money and finances, are crucial for you to surround yourself with masters if you're not one. Now, let me just say this. Through the many years, we put on business schools for entrepreneurs, And that business school, the business school was created first before the Money and You program. And it came out of a real estate company that actually transformed the city of San Francisco. And if it had not been for my mentors, San Francisco would not have so many beautiful Victorians, nor would have people made so much money from the expansion of that and, and rebuilding them and making them more beautiful and moving them from one area to the other. That's what my mentors did. And so many people wanted to go to work in their company that they had hundreds of people because they were making so much money, but not just from business, but also from, and you know what? I am going to ask my beloved to come and open up a little bit of the blinds. It's making a lot of noise. So Chris, can you come, please? Thank you, my love, in the studio. If we can just open up the blinds a little bit. There's a lot of wind right now. We're very blessed. We live on the ocean, but it's getting very loud right now. So technical challenges. Living next to the ocean and too much wind. People are saying, I wish I had that problem. So anyway, so one of the things that you need to understand is that the work that we had actually came from people having put together a business. And just move the blinds a little bit to the left, honey. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. So they put together this business, not only using very sound business principles, but also what could be called personal development consciousness work. Can you close the blinds a little bit? Because it's a little bit too bright. Thank you. Just the blinds themselves. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, this is the fun of having COVID and having our studios at home. Anyway, so now what we have these principles that came out of a real organization. So my work does not come from people having thought, oh, let's put a seminar together. They actually, in many ways, created the industry, and I inherited the work. So immediately I had to learn sales and marketing, people and organization, money and finances, and what are you really good at? So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So here now we're going to be talking about a niche. And as they say down under, a niche. And go ahead and take a picture of that, because this is a niche is very important for your marketing people. Very important. You have to be able to differentiate yourself from others.
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
Now, just so you know, I know that you know this. A lot of you are saying, oh, I already know this. And what I want you to know is that this is an American illness, okay? It's not worldwide. It's an American illness. And what it is that people say, I know. Well, if you know it and you are a mega zillionaire and that this is all, something that you do every single day in the business success model, it's not something that just we do. It's actually, you're going to start seeing that some of the biggest companies actually use it. This is for you. If you're so rich and so successful, you need to understand this and you want a copy of these slides because other people in your organization doesn't know this. So you just knowing it is not good enough. So a niche, a new creation, unique. You've added features, made it better and made a better existing product, a service. You have found something new, or you have become a global entrepreneur taking products overseas. Okay, we can take off the slide right now. So a niche is so important. And so a lot of times, and as I'm looking around, I see that some people really have too many things that they're focusing on. Now, when you see some of the things that my team would have listed on the chat room, you will see that I have quite a few things. And if you go also to my booth, you will see that. But this is after 41 years, and I have a huge following, and we have a huge network, particularly in the Asia Pacific region. which I am now connecting with our, American beautiful network. And we're also doing a lot of joint venturing, which is something that I had to pivot into when COVID started, because we all have to really pivot into whatever needs to be done. So niching and having something that makes you different. You can't talk about 10 different things all at once. You have to do just one thing at a time until you get to a place when you can afford to have different websites, when you can afford to have different teams, when you can afford to have a very big platform. But at first, you start with a small platform. And for those of you that have big platforms and you're listening to this, and thank you for being here. I know that probably some of your friends recommended that you come and listen to me, because the way that I work with the mega successful is for them to be able to train their teams to be able to duplicate them. Because the biggest problem you're going to have, and someday I'm going to write a book called Rich People Problems. By the way, money does not take away problems. It takes away some of the financial problems that you have. And later you're going to have rich people problems, which require other things besides money to handle for you. So everybody give me a high five and say, I love rich people problems. Oh, let me have rich people problems. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Now, this is the one when you are now, for those of us who are spiritual and we have mantras, we get up in the morning and we say, yes, yes, I'm so happy to be alive, and go into your meditation. You have that mantra, and then once you're through with that meditation and you're getting ready to go to work and you're in front of your computer, on the phone, or wherever you are, you're going to ask yourself, how am I leveraging myself? How are my products or services leverageable? So leverage. The way that you leverage, you need to do market research. Now, for those of you who have already come in and you have paid, and definitely you want to go ahead and upgrade yourself to VIP. Just so you know, you are absolutely crazy not to be hanging out with the backstage and the different ways that they have people, that you have the ability to connect with people. It is very, I meant to say main stage. And for you to be able to connect with all these different people, you still have a few days. You really want to be able to leverage your product, your services, your time. And already you're giving yourself all this time to hang out with us. You might as well go ahead and leverage yourself by getting to know as many people. Market research, what's out there. Using your resources, networks, money, people available to you. That's my new definition of wealth. And one of the things that if you go to my booth, you will see is Doria Cordova, or Accelerate Business Goals. You will see in my booth, you will see that I am going to give you my free book. And we're also going to have a little banner. And go ahead, Tony, and pass that banner right now, where you can download that book. And that particular book is going to give you, it's a short book that you can read on a flight between Los Angeles and San Francisco, but it will give you more information about the business success model. All right, so leverage, market research, using the resources. And also you will see my book, Access to Cash, which is the actual definition of my new definition of wealth. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And you leverage through systems. Systems is key. And right now, what you want to do tonight is take inventory of the resources that you have in your life. Okay, let's go ahead and take off the slides. Thank you. So one of the things that people ask me as we're going through this global paradigm shift, what have I done? It's like one of the biggest things we have to do right away is, what is the accessibility that you have? And again, before you came into this platform, and after, you're going to be much wealthier because of the people that you're getting to meet. There are people that are making themselves available that you can later have appointments with. I have had a very busy week, so I haven't had the opportunity to connect with a lot of people right now, but I will later. I will after the week is over and we have your information. So if you want to connect with me, go to the booth. But just know my beautiful web manager, Connie, and my partner, Chris Menzel, are supporting me, and also the team. And then I'll be able to connect with you later. Just have a little patience. But like here you are, you can connect with me, and you can also connect with me in Facebook and all the other places later. They're going to post all my social media. But a lot of people don't have access to people like myself. And then, if you come to Fridays with Doria, then there you will see my network of people from around the world that you can leverage your product and your services with. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. And this one is systems. Now, there's 3 words in any language that most people, they think they understand, but they really don't. And that's the word love, leverage, and systems. So like with the word leverage, you wake up in the morning and go, how can I leverage myself? How can I leverage my product and services? And once you figure that out, you now need to create systems. And this is where leverage really begins to occur, where you can go ahead and take off from your business anytime. You can go on vacation. You can be down because of COVID, but the work still continues. And this is where a lot of people have gotten caught here, that they didn't have system to leverage themselves. They're the grease of organization. You cannot build an economic engine without them. You need to have systems that are administrative, organizational, financial, people systems. Think of selling in 5 years. And not that you may or may not, but think of creating this economic engine where you can sell in 5 years' time. Okay, let's go ahead and take that off. And let's go straight to the next one, my next slide. Thank you. And this is what now it becomes really important. And this is the thing. Remember earlier I talked about, we talked about sales and marketing, people and organization, money and finances, and then also what are you the best at? This is the most difficult part of business. I say all the time, business would be so easy if I didn't have to deal with people. Not that I don't love people, because people know that I do love them. I really do. But as people, me being that I am a person, I too, I'm counted on this equation. We come in with a lot of feelings. We come in with opinions. We come in, and especially when we're really young, we have all kinds of opinions, all kinds. So what you have to do is you have to create a container to create an aligned team. And you saw earlier my purpose, you saw my mission. Then you have to have a thing called policies and rules of the game, goals, and then your valuable final product. That's for marketing. What are you really selling? And here, what I like to do is I like to give a plug to my friend, Carol Dysart. Now, you're going to have the opportunity to be able to write to me to info@moneyandyou.com. You're going to ask me for the slides there, and also any clarifying questions. And then also, if you need a direct link to Carol Dysart, she is somebody that you can meet at Fridays with Doria, but she has this profile. You really need to know the different personalities of your team. Are they dominant? Are they drivers? That's the D. Are they inspirational, influential? That's the I. Are they S, system, steady, the people that make sure that everything is going to get delivered through systems, the things that your drivers and your inspirational people sold. Then in the back room, the people that really make it happen are the S's and the C's, VISC. And so the C person is going to be the quality controller, the person that's going to find everything that's wrong with your product or service before the customer does. And everyone is clear about the servability, prosperity, that it is okay to be wealthy. Now, this is so important. I can't begin to tell you. Because if you have, and my rich friends right now, my really successful people that you're watching, and if they're not watching, make sure you guys, for your bosses, your friends, your spouses, your sweeties, if they are very successful and they're pulling their hair out on how they're going to do succession, make sure that they buy the VIP pass and they can then get a download of this program so they can listen to it. So if you're very successful, congratulations. And this is where we have billionaires that attend our Money and You program. And this is what makes it all worth it. And then they send their other billionaires friends and their multimillionaire friends to learn this, which is about observability. And by now, my beautiful project manager, Connie, or my beloved Chris, would have put up in the chat room for you to come and download and do this thing called the Recovery Magical Exercises, which no matter how little money you have, how much money you have, how rich you are, how successful you are, right now you need to be working on your observability, because particularly, and you can take down the slide now, particularly now with COVID, there is tremendous fear. We're living in a sea of fear. So you have to be able to manage all that's coming up. The world, but Buckminster Fuller right here, Buckminster Fuller is our mentor. And he is the one that taught the world on how to come from scarcity to sufficiency to abundance, how to change your beingness, how to change environments, how to change the world. We would not have the poverty that we have in the world and have children in the United States. It used to be 15 million children a day. And then it turned out to be 18 million a day. Now they can't even count. They say that it's over 20, 25 million children that go to sleep hungry in the United States. How does that happen? Because we still live in a world that is based on scarcity thinking, on the Malthusian theory that economics is about managing scarce resources. There's nothing farther from the truth, because that was handled back in the 1970s. There's enough food, there's enough water, there's enough resources. There is enough in the world. And one of my favorite books is Abundance by Diamandis. He was able to put together all the facts. It's an old book now, but he was the one that took the time to categorize and to document how much abundance there is in the world. And so for that, I am forever grateful that I didn't have to spend all those years writing that book. I'm busy doing something else. And so what we need to do is, see right here, this is the context, the fruit bowl, what I was talking about earlier, on how to manage people, how to get people to go ahead and be clear about their purpose, their mission, the rules of the game on how you're going to participate together. My Money and You graduates watching right now going, yes, I remember the fruit bowl. It's one of the biggest teachings of my Money and You program. And also I teach this on my online program. I have a 6.5 hour program where, especially now that you probably want to download, is your mama, your grandmother talking to you about business. This is what you see is what you get, but I will be sharing with you some major tools, some of what I've been talking about right now, but really going into details on how to build a socially responsible organization. And what we mean by that is that we're not just about the bottom line, we're actually about making a world work for 100% of humanity. Let's go to the next slide. We're almost done with the business success model. Go ahead. So all of this, all what I have been saying, learning from masters, creating a niche, and leveraging that niche through systems and creating an aligned team, then we'll create a thing called synergy. Buckminster Fuller, our beautiful mentor that you see his beautiful picture over here, right here, is synergy. And it's okay, go back. Let's go back. Unexpected results beyond the ordinary. The combination of certain elements creates greater strength. Okay, now you can take it down. Thank you. Sorry, Tony, I confused you. So as you can see right here, what we have is Buckminster Fuller, and right above it, you see our spaceship Earth. You know, Epoch Center in Orlando, Florida, Walt Disney was so inspired by Buckminster Fuller that he actually created Epoch Center. That is based on the teachings that we're all connected, that we are one. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. And let's go to the last slide. Thank you. On this part, results. This is actually not the last slide, Tony. I apologize. I don't mean to confuse you, but of the business success model. Results. And this is my friend Marsha taught me this when I was only 27 years old. And she was part of the person that created the Hunger Project. And that was really, it was based on the teachings of Buckminster Fuller, Werner Erhard, Lynn Twist ran that, and it was inspired, and people like Marsha Martin and many others in the EST organization power this. And Marsha Martin taught me, you either have reasons for not creating what you want, or the results will speak for themselves. So that is one of the things that you want to do, is you want to make such a difference, put to work this economic engine. No matter how beautiful your product is, if you don't put an economic engine around and create the business success model that is going to power this, it won't matter. So are your results going to be financial, love, health, connection, joy, peace, and always for self, family, community, world.
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events, or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co. If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
And you will see the actual. Now, take a picture of that if you can. And you will have the book. I'm giving it to you for free at moneyandyou.com. You can download it there. Also there, you will find the Recovery Magical Exercises, and you will also find my online class. So it's all there. And that website, by the way, is being completely redone in the next few weeks, because that's what we're doing during staying home time. We are going to renew and revise and reconsider and pivot and begin to redo everything and get ready for the big recovery. So you can see that masters, niche, systems, leverage, aligned team, synergy, results. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, now this is really important, and this is why we want you to do the Recovery Magical Exercises. Where are you with money? My new definition of wealth is to have access to cash, to people, to experts, to investments. You now have so much access. I mean, one of the gifts of COVID, and of course, we're so sad about the people who are ill, about our friends who are dying, about other people that are recuperating, and people who have been so affected financially. I mean, this is a horrendous experience, but this is also a global paradigm shift. Now, I'll talk about that in a minute, but this is the time to ask yourself, are you in the process of making money? Now, some of you were rich 6 months ago and you're no longer rich. So you are now back to making money, which is one area that you have different variety of things that you need to do. In our 3.5-day live program, Money and You, we cover all these areas, not exactly in this wording, but we can have people who have very little money, they're in the process of making money, or they have a lot of money, but are starting a new business, so they're making money. And then there's people who are keeping money that you manage to make, and then growing the money that you manage to keep. So where are you financially? This is really important. And some of you are making more money than ever because you were already prepared online. We didn't know 6 months ago that we were going to have an online world. So I want you to really consider this. So go ahead. Let's go to the next slide. All right. So here it is. Take a picture of this. Put it in your phone. And you will get, if you email me, info@moneyandyou.com, we will send this slideshow to you. My definition of wealth: access to cash, resources, influential people, networks, capital, investments, experts, support when you need it locally and globally. By the way, this is why I'm saying, after being here with the best You EXPO, the best Expo network, and the television channel that they have, and the beautiful platform that Bernardo and Tony and the other Tony and the whole team has created is making you so much more wealthy. And Tony, you that just introduced me and working with the slides, how much richer are you having met all these people, right? So my definition of wealth. So what I want you to do as an expansion exercise, homework this weekend, I want you to, after this program is over, I want you to make a list of all the things that you're good at, all the things that you're bad at, and then begin to see how much access you really have and begin to get in touch with those people. And let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you. So this is my prayer for you, and I'm giving you good juju now. This is what I'm really about. I'm a very spiritual person. Every 5 or 6 weeks, and when you go to Fridays with Doria, under resources, you will see the Ho'oponopono prayer. And we've been doing this for our networks. We started to do it. We included all of you just a couple of weeks ago because I was already part of this platform. So did you know that you had people like me that are sending you good energy, that are praying for you, that are including you in Ho'oponopono processes? See, you never know who's taking care of you. You never know who your angel is. And I don't know who my angels are, but thank you for you including me in your prayers and in your beautiful rituals. Thank you. Thank you. So this too shall pass. Create and build an economic engine now so that when the big recovery occurs, you will be ready. So let's go to the next slide. No, you missed a couple. Oh, no, you didn't. You're correct. Let's stay connected. And we already have that. We would have already put that. Let's go to the next one, the one with the beautiful question. That's it. All right. So let me see. How can I get in the picture? Oh, there I am. All right. There I am in the picture. Hello. So that's the question. How do we make the world work for 100% of humanity? If you go to any of my social media, you will find that question. And I put it in Chinese for any of our Chinese family that is watching this, but also I am a bridge between China and the Asia Pacific region and Muslims and Americans, Europeans. I've been doing this for many, many years. I've been working on my own self-awareness for 44 years. And this question I live by, and I encourage all entrepreneurs that you encourage your teams and you work on this question. How do we make the world work for 100% of humanity in the shortest possible time through spontaneous cooperation without any ecological offense or the disadvantage of anyone? And just so you know, that is Epoch Center. I could not believe it. I went for the first time with one Ming. If you go to solovalleychina.com, Solo Valley China, if somebody can write that for me, .com. I went with a billionaire with heart. He is the most beautiful human being. I'm an ambassador for his platform. And I have been so inspired. I was inspired originally by Buckminster Fuller, but to have gone to Epoch Center with Wang Ming and his wife, he was standing next to me when I took this picture, and it was that beautiful. That's what it looks like at night. And that work is based on the teachings of Buckminster Fuller. Walt Disney knew Buckminster Fuller and studied Buckminster Fuller and then honored him and decided to create this beautiful park based on his work. And then let's go ahead and go to the next slide. By the way, I can also give you a copy of this. So this is what I want you to remember. Never forget. So if you send me an email, I will also send you this. Never forget that you're one of a kind. Let's read together, okay? Never forget that you are one of a kind. Never forget that if there weren't any need for you in all of your uniqueness to be on this earth, you wouldn't be here in the first place. And never forget, no matter how overwhelming life's challenges and problems seem to be, that one person can make a difference in the world. In fact, it is always because of one person that all the changes that matter in the world come about. So be that one person. Okay, let's go ahead and take that off and we'll come back. I just have a few more minutes that I want to complete this with. So what I want to do is I want to download all that for you. And I think they've been putting the little thing below for you to go ahead and download the book. And then once you tap into me and you go into Doria Cordova, whatever, on my Facebook, you will find also, somebody can write moneyandyou.com/Buckminster-Fuller. moneyandyou.com/Buckminster-Fuller. My team put together, it is one of the most beautiful libraries of links to the works of Buckminster Fuller. There are hundreds in there of the most beautiful people that he is so loved and so admired. So what I want to do is I want to leave you that what I want to encourage you, I want to leave you with the thought that I want to encourage you that you create such a beautiful economic engine using the accelerated business success model. You have a book. You can come and learn from me. You can learn from all the other beautiful masters and teachers. Your spirit, you will know who you want to work with. And I am so blessed to have over 165,000 graduates from over 85 countries around the world since I inherited this work from Marshall Thurber and Bobby D. Porter. I inherited the work. I became a partner in 1979 when many of you were not even born. And then I inherited all the rights in 1985, and I had the opportunity to look around and see who was available. And there was this young man, Japanese young man, who was a Marine. And I had inherited all the rights, and I needed a Marine, somebody that was going to follow instruction exactly as I needed it. His name was Robert Kiyosaki. We worked together for 9 years. We used to dream in this very home. We used to dream about that someday he was going to write a bestseller that was going to be known all over the world. And sure enough, that's what happened with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The first book, the rest of the book is all based actually on all the different real estate, which we're not involved in at all. We're not involved in investments at all or real estate. So that's what he's moved on to do that work. But Sharon Lecter came along. I'll never forget when he called me. I was living in Singapore, and he called me and he said, you know what? I think that I have found that woman that we were visualizing. We didn't know whether it was going to be a man or a woman, but she's so experienced in publishing. She really knows this area. She just sold or had this beautiful audio books, talking books, I think. And forgive me, Sharon, that I'm forgetting right now, but a company that had been sold for $200 million, and she was available. And she went and they became business partners for 10 years. And she, through all the business success model, and him with all his marketing and his genius and his desire and everything, he is, believe me, they practice a business success model. McDonald's is a business success model. Apple Computers. Oh, Apple, I forgot. They've taken out the word computers. You can see how we had the first Apple computer store in San Diego in 1981. Carol Dysa got to meet Stephen Jobs, who came to check out our store. I miss meeting him. I was out, probably at the beach. But anyway, so as you can see, and you begin to really delve into the model, and in our Money and You program, that's what we do for 3.5 days. Experientially, 65% exercises, experiential exercises a game. Only 15% is really lecture, and the rest of it is all people that are going to be sharing and talking about the realizations that they have. So for 3.5 days, people go through a huge transformational experience on how to apply the business success model in their lives and in their businesses. So when we come back live, you can come to that program. Until then, you can do my online program. But I want to leave you with this, that if you commit, this is another quote from Buckminster Fuller, if you commit yourself to the betterment of humanity, the Great Spirit will take care of you. And truly, he used to say that every human being is an experiment. Every human being is an experiment. I have been an experiment. I used to be in the court reporting field. I was going to grow up to be an attorney. And at 26 years old, I had an enlightenment experience. By the time I was 28, I let go of that career, one of the biggest, most challenging things I ever did, and stepped into the unknown. And I ended up inheriting work that has been so magnificent. And the graduates and the people and the instructors and the people that our promoting partners are so magnificent. It has been a dream life. I'm a little girl from Chile. I am a simple person. I come from a middle-class family. If I can do it, you can do it. You just need to surround yourself with experts and masters like you are here at the Best You Expo. Again, thank you, Bernardo. Thank you to all of you that are making this happen. And just remember that it is up to you. If you were born to do this, you were born to put your beautiful gift, your beautiful work. It is for you to make a difference in the world. Anybody can do it. You just need to surround yourself with masters and experts and with creating an economic engine using the business success model. So with that, I thank you. Thank you for having shown up to this, for watching the recording. I'm sure we'll see each other somewhere. And I'm always like this. This is me. I just love what I do. I love, love, love people with all their quirks because I'm a people. I'm a person. And I have all those little quirks too. Nobody's perfect. We're all learning. And so let's keep each other company and let's get through this global paradigm.
Hey, how are you? That was such a great share. How motivating.
Thank you.
Did it go pretty well for you?
Oh, fantastic. I can feel all the people. I have the ability to feel all the people, even though I can't see them. Right. I can feel them, and I want to thank them all. And you, thank you.
Oh, thank you. What do you think of the shift to the digital world? I mean, it's not what we're used to, traveling the world and going on live stages, thousands of people watching. But to be able to do this live, we're on Roku TV live right now. I actually have my school, BSA, they're live as well over in the Zoom room. So they're watching us as well. And there's probably 20, 30 people that are going to pop up and watch this that aren't even part of the expo. So it's amazing how we can just link up.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the ultimate leverage. And we are going to go back to live programs, but I think forever now, we're going to be complementing all the live programs with online programs.
Absolutely. And we're talking about the hybrid, right? Where you take the live stage and people that can't travel the world can show up. We're using StreamYard and Excel events, and then we also have Zoom going, and they're all just working really well together.
Yes.
So, and you said you've been doing this over 40 years. You don't look a day over 21. Come on now.
Thank you. It's all, I had to stop drinking. I had to stop lying. I had to stop all my bad habits. And that's why I've been able to keep it without surgery, just the healthy life.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to have you on our stage. We're closing day 5 of the Best You Virtual Expo 2020, and you're closing day 5 for us. So we'll be back tomorrow with Bernardo and Camp, and we're going to start at 10 o'clock sharp. So make sure you guys come back. Where can we see you virtually in the virtual rooms of the expo?
Well, I am at Doria Cordova. I've been in many panels, and I will in my expo, and then I'll be popping in and out and be all around.
How exciting. Well, just find your ways through the halls of the virtual expo. Again, my name's Tony Boldy. I'm the host of the Best You Expo with Bernardo Moya. And we're taking this to Dallas, Texas. We're going to Miami. We're going over the pond. We're going to London. We're going around the world. We're going to Dubai. I mean, this thing's just going to populate. So you guys keep watching. Make sure you go to thebestyou.com if you don't know what's going on. If you do, share this link with many people. We're going to have all these recordings in the StreamYard logs, so you guys can find any of these talks if you missed any of them. But we're excited to close day 5, getting ready for day 6 and day 7. One big round of applause for you. So inspiring. I'm glad you wrapped our day up. All right. With much love, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.